Good morning, my fellow luminaries. How are you today? It's Kay. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about what to do when journaling hurts. We all hear a lot about the positive effects of journaling, and I'll talk about them in a different post. But sometimes we forget the fact that journaling can be really triggering. If we are people who've experienced a lot of trauma in our lives, or just one trauma, or we're going through a period of depression or loneliness, sometimes sitting down and just doing that free write, like writing about whatever's on our heart, can make us feel worse because we spend a lot of time just living in the darkness and have a hard time coming out into the light. So I say this because I've experienced this myself. For actually years, I went through a time where it was really hard for me to free journal. In fact, I kind of avoided it because I knew somewhere deep down in the back of my psyche, I knew that if I started opening myself up and talking on paper about all the stuff that was hurting me, it was going to be too much. So I just avoided it. It was only recently that I realized there was actually a way to journal through some of these issues without making myself feel overwhelmed and exhausted and, ending up in a puddle of tears on the floor. None of us want to be there if we can avoid that. So it's kind of a twist on the listing that we talked about yesterday. Yesterday we talked about doing it instead of a to-do list, what I did today list. This is a similar thing. Some people will call it a gratitude list. If you're feeling really sad and down in the dumps right now, the word gratitude may make you want to spit at me. Please don't. I get it. I've been there. So I prefer to say it's a list of things that weren't terribly terrible that happened today. Or I have a name for it, 3 not horrible things that happened today. And that maybe makes it a little bit more palatable for those of us who are really in a tough spot and aren't necessarily feeling grateful. So I'm going to share a few of the sort of things that I would put on my not horrible things that happened today list. One of them was that you might hear I still have a cold, but I had tea, and I actually had milk that wasn't sour that I could put in it, and I had honey, which I don't always have honey in the house. So I've been able to drink tea with honey and milk in it, which is a not horrible thing when you're feeling yucky. It's actually a really happy thing. I also I can hear in the background my dishwasher is running. I hate washing dishes. I hate it. And hand washing dishes is the worst. But when that dishwasher is running, I can tell myself, ooh, I've got something good going on, and I don't have to lift a finger. I love the dishwasher. And my third one is that my house is warm today. I have some friends who have provided me with an abundance of wood for my wood stove. And so my wood stove is going, and today the house is so cozy and warm. And that is a not horrible thing. So I'm going to challenge you to try to come up with your own list of not horrible things that happened today, especially if you're in a place where, let's face it, life just feels horrible. We're all going to be there sometimes. But usually you can find 3 not horrible things that happened in a day. If you can only get 1 or 2, that's okay. That's a win. 1 not horrible thing is a win some days. So if you have some not horrible things that happen, why don't you send us a comment? I'd love to read what your not horrible things are today. So go forth in light, my friends, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow.